Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We promoting to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back, and we are here with Strawhat Sitdown, episode 21. Gang in this bitch.
Yes,
we out here. Here with the Straw Hat crew as usual. You know what I mean? We got that boy Strawhat Mod in the building.
What's good? Let's go.
Yo. We got that boy D3 in the building. What's up, man?
What's good? We out here with the Kaido backstory.
With the Kaido backstory. I don't know if you call it a backstory, but you know, we'll say it's a backstory, right? Yeah. And of course, last but not least, we got that boy YHuss. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's up, yo?
Gang.
It's gonna be a crazy episode.
Yeah, we actually have a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? This chapter was a lot going on, a lot of different angles to look at. Gonna see the different perspectives that me and the crew have on the outcome of this chapter, what happens, you know. Yeah, we're just gonna go through it like normal. Gonna do my chapter review, and then we'll just get right into it. You guys good?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, bet. So, chapter 1049, The World You Wish For. We start out with Luffy and Kaido clashing, where during the clash, Kaido has a flashback and thinks back to his childhood as a child soldier at 10 years old. 46 years ago, in the Kingdom of Akka, his country gave him away to the Marines for mandatory enlistment in order to be guaranteed a seat at the Reverie. Kaido gets taken by the Marines, but he escapes the Navy and goes to the pirate island Fullerled, where he joins the Rocks Pirates. We then see news break out of the Rocks Pirates' defeat at God Valley, allegedly by a Marine named Garp, who we know as Garp. We see an old lady. We then see an old lady. We get a flash forward from the flashback. We move forward in the flashback. There we go. Where we then see an old lady who gave the old lady who gave Orochi his devil fruit, talking to Kaido and giving him a proposition. We then see Kaido coming to Wano, and then we see Kaido talking to King about knowing who Joy Boy is. The conversation then gets interrupted as we return to the present, and we return to the clash with Luffy and Kaido. We then see the CPO agent, who was seemingly defeated earlier, alive and making his escape. We also see the water continue to surge through Onigashima as they wash away Kaido's flame clouds from the entire island. Kaido asks Luffy what kind of world he wishes to make during the clash, in which Luffy responds, "A world where my friends can eat as much as they like. That's my kind of world." As he says this, he wins the clash at the same time that Kaido's flame clouds begin to dissipate, which forces Momo to create his own flame clouds to hold up and therefore save Onigashima. We then go back to the flashback one more time to where we ended the flashback, where Kaido says he knows who Joy Boy is. He then says Joy Boy is the man who will be able to beat him one day. And then we end the chapter with Kaido in the ground, falling through the earth, Luffy and Momo passed out, and Onigashima landing safely on the ground right outside of the Flower Capital. Yeah. Well, as always, thanks to YHuss for the summary.
No worries, bro.
Yeah. How we feeling, guys? What's the word?
So where do y'all want to start? Are we starting at the flashback? Or are we starting like?
No,
I
we
gotta-
gotta
I
ask the question.
I want to start.
Oh,
I want to
damn,
start.
we already here.
I
We
want to
already
start
here.
rubbing it in certain people's faces. That's how I want to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
Look,
energy.
look, Mod. I'm just
Alright.
saying. Where's that awakening, bro? You was talking mad shit last week.
Okay,
awakening, bro?
okay. All right. So we start. So we already
We
doing
start with
this.
violence
Okay,
today.
this
We
is
start
okay.
with violence today, bro.
Okay. So, first of all, if we're addressing this right here, I still don't think that this is the end. I still don't think so.
Okay.
For one, so my problem with this, if this is like the end, this was relatively, if you think about it, throughout the entirety of the Onigashima raid, the raid has been pretty smooth. Like, what were the stakes in this raid? And the stakes have not still been met even up to this point where they lost and stuff like that.
I think that's
So,
I'm sorry. Continue.
okay. I mean, okay, that's fine.
Continue. I'm
but
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's fine. I can see why people feel like that this is the end, and if this is the end, I mean, that's it. I was wrong. I was completely wrong about that. But I still don't think this is the end. We still didn't get like that win title that everyone else got.
I agree on that.
And the Kaido, and even Kaido got a win title for beating Luffy. So we still haven't.
I will say that as far as that goes, all the win titles have been the chapter after the last blow.
That's true.
That's all.
So,
which is why
that's
I
true.
went to
So
wait the
y'all-
next
We
That's true. So
really
y'all
have
call
to
it-
wait till the next one. Yeah.
Exactly. So y'all still calling it too early. So
Mm,
what was that? What was that?
I'm just saying, bro. It's looking kind of in my favor right now. I'm just
And
saying.
yo, I will say, but for Zone Awakenings, it has always happened after they get smoked, right? Like they seem down for a while. The Impel Down guards and Luffy, they were down for like a chapter or so, and now they're back up. So it still could be the case with Kaido, right?
Yeah.
But I was obviously on Mod's side last episode, and like Loki, I hope he gets up and does Awakening still. I'm still on that train, in terms of what I hope happens, because I'm and not even to say that I think because I don't think it's underwhelming at all. I think the stakes I think there are times where it felt a bit dicey when Luffy lost when the CP0 member pulled up, but obviously we know they're gonna win in the end. So that kind of already invalidates that idea that like. Or I feel like that's why I don't ever say like, oh, it never felt like it was in danger, because they're never in danger. They're gonna win, right?
Yeah.
But I will say like Kaido is still the GOAT. If this is how he goes down to me, like, cause I saw a comment on Reddit and it's crazy. It's like Kaido fought nonstop for 63 chapters, 53 of them lifting and carrying an entire island. He fought longer than Eddie's Lobby, Thriller Bark, longer than Marineford, longer than Punk Hazard, longer than Savodi, Amazon, Lily, Impel Down put together, as long as Alabasta, and 3 chapters short of Skypiea. Like that's how long Kaido was fighting on his ones. So like this, and he fought some strong people too. Like if this is how it goes down, and just to juxtapose this chapter with last chapter with the flashbacks before Orochi lost to was killed by Denjiro, right? How like we saw his villainous acts and shit, and and then in the end the chapter even ends similarly with please vanquish the scary dragon. And this chapter is like the wars on the Sky Lantern with that's how last chapter ended. They saw the Sky Lantern as we see Kaido in the dirt, and something Mista said to me, he wanted me to bring this up, was that he was saying if you look at the last panel of Kaido going into the ground, it looks like his horn was like the left side of his horn is like falling off, and if you consider what Zoro and Sanjutsu, King and Queen, they took King's wing off and Queen's arm off. It's kind of similar, right? So there's a lot of finality to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm split. I don't know. I don't know what I think.
I definitely agree with a lot of stuff you said. The lanterns for me was a really big selling point to thinking that this is more towards the end than anything, because like we knew that was gonna signify. We knew the wishes that were gonna be on the lantern, and we knew that would signify the climax of this fight. I think we talked about it maybe a few episodes ago.
Last episode.
Yeah. So like them appearing, like YHuss said, right before Orochi's demise, and then the same with Kaido right before this. And you know, like they said, it could Kaido could come back up because awakenings do appear after the person is like defeated, but it's definitely not looking that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It feels very final. Like if this was how the last hit happened, I'd be very okay with it. It's and like the third last panel or the third last chapter or page of this chapter where Luffy is saying the line about a world where his friends can eat as much as they like. It's like super similar to the chapter in 1000 when he punches him. Like that exact double spread. Like it looks the same. Like the page is the same kind of setup. I even have the punches coming down on Kaido, inside of Kaido's face, and he's getting pushed down by the punch. Like it's the same kind of like framing in the art itself. So it's clear that Oda wants us at least to think this is the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he wants y'all to like you just said. He wants you to think.
Which is cool. I said it that way on purpose.
So here and there's another thing. And this is still to bolster the point that Kaido is not actually done for good. There's two reasons. One, every time that Luffy defeats a major antagonist, it is with a crowd around or a witness of some kind that can attest to the fact that this person is defeated and that it actually does something for either the civilians or whoever it is that is thematically impacted. Like Doflamingo getting defeated in front of the Dressrosians to signify that he was defeated. Crocodile getting spiked up under from the ground and being landed in front of the rebels army and stuff so that they no longer had to fight. Skypiea with Eneru, etc., etc. Kaido did not get defeated in front of anyone in a thematical sense like all the other villains. You would think that he would get defeated in front of the Wano civilians, the ones that are being starved to death and being enslaved and everything else, so that they can be like, okay, it's over, we're done. Like, that's one reason. And second reason is still the whole act of Wano. We still have not gotten that crazy tragedy that would conclude Act 3. Because Act 4 is supposed to be the turnabout, the turnabout. The Phoenix Wright turnabout, basically. Yeah, so with those two reasons why I still am like not convinced that he's done for completely for good.
Yeah, that's totally. I understand your perspective. Like, honestly.
To talk about one thing you said was the crowd thing. I think it's a big thing that kind of points to it maybe not being over, like you said. But I will say there's one example that is kind of similar to this, is that in Alabasta he defeated Crocodile. I think only like Vivi and her dad and Robin saw, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it wasn't very many people.
Yeah, but when he shot up into the air and then he landed
in front of people. Okay.
Yeah, in front of people. He landed in front of the rebel army and stuff, and then they all stopped. Like, oh no! Wait, I take that back. Maybe he like. I don't remember if they all. The rain. The rain definitely stopped them. But they saw a crocodile. They were like, "Why is crocodile here?" Like, So we still haven't gotten that. And you want to say like Rob Lucci lost in front of the Marines, which was a very Marine heavy centric arc. You know.
Yeah. It's definitely a pattern. It's definitely a pattern. Like, if he's in the ground, especially, that kind of gives him a lot of reason to just come right back up, because just being a Kaido-shaped hole in the ground doesn't like tell anyone that Kaido's lost.
Right. Yeah.
But what about I think I think a super interesting thing that points to him actually having lost here is that the CP0 guy left.
Damn, I was dead. I was just about to say that.
I was about to say that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, y'all can go ahead.
Go ahead.
What if he?
What's called?
So yeah, D3, like, Kali, why is that important?
I feel like it's important for the reason being that the CP0 and the Marines are just like, all right, this is over. Like, if Luffy could beat Kaido, I'm not setting up him right now. I feel like there's too much that's actually signified the end of the fight with because we literally talked about it not last week but the week before last, about how when the fight was gonna end, it would be after Momonosuke made the flame clouds.
Yep.
Momo made the flame clouds just in the nick of time, and Onigashima landed safely. This is where I think like the fight could be over, because it's literally right beside like Flower Capital. literally right beside. So there's no reason saying that the citizens of the Flower Capital couldn't have heard this nigga Kaido fall from 10,000 feet and hit the ground, and they go see what's up, and he's defeated. You know?
Yeah,
Like-
that's entirely possible. I can
Like,
I can see
yeah,
that.
like I don't see any reason as to why that couldn't happen. Like I could still see Kaido getting up and awakening. Like, don't get me wrong, I could still see it happening, but I feel like it's leaning too much. It happened in the last chapter. We got flashback, we got flame clouds, we got Luffy's big moment saying he wants to make sure everybody eats. Like, it wouldn't make sense for all of this to happen in like the order that it happened for Kaido to get right back up immediately.
Yeah, and
That's why I think Kaido's done, but the smoke isn't done. Like somebody else is coming. There's not gonna be the rest. I'm still carrying on my theory of last week of just Kaido's gonna be done, and then we getting like some other shit happening.
I do think I do agree with you that I do think something else could be in the works too, because I think if I remember correctly, Oda said that, or someone said that Oda said that there's a villain worse than Kaido, like the Lurking Legend or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But outside of getting into that specifically, I do think that it's possible, like the CP9 agent could be leaving, right, to report that Kaido has been defeated, right? But it's entirely possible that the Marines can swoop in and he was entirely wrong, and Kaido's get up and awakens, and then
That's true.
That's true.
So like it's so, oh, this is the next chapter is going to be so juicy. We're gonna see, right? Yeah, but in terms of the flashback, I just want to say we did get the flashback, but the flashback was very half-assed, and like,
yeah, it was like, I felt like intentionally so, honestly.
yeah, like
I feel
that was like remnants of a flashback, like at like this point, this like, and it's just like
100%.
we didn't learn it that much.
See, I feel like we're gonna get more. In my opinion, when I was reading the chapter, because I'd read it twice just to go back and reread it, I feel like we're gonna get more on Kaido and more on Big Mom when we learn about rocks. Like, that's when I feel like we're gonna get a lot unloaded about Whitebeard, about Big Mom, about Kaido, because one of the big things of Wano that I realized that when they talk about the Anko is the battle of Battle of God Valley. Something's been talked about for like hundreds of chapters now. I feel like we're gonna get a really big info dump then about all the characters, like about all the people that were involved. So I feel like we're gonna learn about Kara.
He can't tell us exactly, I feel like, about everything about the rock spiders, like you said, because there's characters that have yet to be super important, like, and have the like Guard, for example, and Sengoku and Roger even have their backstories and their, like, what happened in God Valley. Like, it's important to them too, so it'll come to light when, like, we need everything, you know what I'm saying? We gotta put it all together in a sense. But
exactly.
I do feel like we still need to, like, know a little bit more about, like, kind of like what happened to him back in the day.
I do too. I just feel like Oda's teasing at this point.
Yeah,
but I feel like we're going to get more when he gets back up, because or we're going to get more while he's knocked out. It's one of those two, because while you both are definitely right that we're probably not, I don't think we're going to get the entire Rocks expedition here. We're not. That's not what this is about. It's still about the Kaido thing, and even though they glance past the Rock stuff, I'm like, okay, they glance past the Rock stuff, but they glance past the Kaido stuff even when he was outside of Rocks. So, like, we still haven't got the key about where he was captured to, well, they said it right before, like he was on Punk Hazard or something, or was somewhere else. Yeah, but we still haven't, we don't know why he was at Punk Hazard captured. We don't know why, like, the points from when he got to King, when he, the Wano situation, which I think was outside of the Rock stuff. He said, like, oh, this time period is going to be about the all those that were on the Rocks pirates, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we're still missing just a lot of clues, not with the Rocks thing, because like y'all both said, we'll get that later, but just the Kaido stuff, the Kaido stuff.
Like literally, like Yamato and stuff, like who we might never know,
like the mother,
we might never know, but I feel like it's like, it could be sick to know.
I feel like that kind of stuff's gonna happen after the fight's over, because there's a lot of like retrospect that happens after the end of like arcs and stuff. Like I feel like we're gonna get that kind of stuff.
And there's villains we don't even know that much about, like Crocodile and
yeah, exactly. Like I feel like we were talking, all of us pretty much are in agreement that it's going to be like a 5-part act. And I feel like for either the 4th or the 5th act, or like towards the end of Wano, we're going to get more exposition on that kind of stuff. I just feel like right now, Oda's trying to really emphasize the fact that Kaido is being defeated and the people of Wano can be free.
It could be like Mod said. I kind of agree, honestly, where it's like, if it goes down, let's say he awakens and he gets up, like it could honestly be where like this is the beginning of the flashback, because all the shit we see here, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it we already knew, like except for the kingdom that he's from,
in the Vaca Kingdom.
Yeah, the
fucking Vodka King.
That's like pretty on the
I
nose.
was like, why? Like, why? They played it so hard.
Yeah,
like,
it's very,
oh
very on the nose on my man.
Right.
But, yeah, so we didn't know that he was from this kingdom. We didn't know he was sold out by these people, which is actually, this is actually a very important detail, to be honest, that he was put up for Navy enlistment.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, and there is one other thing I wanted to add on top of that. Like, for the longest time, right, I did not know how this mug Kaido was getting captured left and right, because remember,
that's so funny.
Yeah, like, because remember, if you remember Kaido's introduction, when they introduced him and he jumped from Sky Island and stuff, they said this man has been captured several times, been tortured several times, been hung several times, all that. I'm like, damn, who's strong enough to capture him? He must have been when he was way weaker. Nah, come to find out, he's been on purposefully like getting captured just so that he can eat. I'm like, oh shit. So this whole time I thought like maybe some admirals, he fought some admirals in the past and stuff. And it is a funny retrospective that he might have fought admirals in the past, right? But then when Luffy punches him, he reminisces of the top 5 that can fight him, or whatever, and there were no admirals in there. But now it comes to think, maybe he never fought admirals. I don't know. He could have, but I don't know. Like, so I'm glad that was taken care of in terms of like explaining that, because I needed to know how this dude was getting captured left and right, and who was strong enough at the time to capture him.
Yeah, now we know, bro. Just hungry, but yeah, like, so there's like a few things like we had a bit more introduction to that kind of stuff, and like a little bit more about what makes him him, but like the stuff about joining rocks, leaving rocks, talking about King with Joy Boy and stuff like that. Like we already kind of knew all this shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Or at least I feel like the important stuff that came out of this this flashback. So I feel like this could be the beginning, and like, and then while he's down, he's just considering that shit and thinking about, and then we can make a bit more of the flashback, his actual life, what makes him who he is, why he thinks about death is such an important thing and stuff like that. I feel like it could be a thing there, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I could see that playing out that like that.
Why is he so battle driven? Like we didn't get, like, we know that he cares so much. He said battle is a way to gauge a person's self-worth or a person's worth in this world. We don't know why he thinks like that. We just know he was there, he was whooping ass, and the king of Vodka was like, nah, you're too much, bro. We don't even know if technically he lived there or not, like technically. But his situation, you know what's funny? His situation is so similar to Big Mom's in the fact that Big Mom was sold off she was planning to get sold off to be a Marine. And same thing with Kaido. Big Mom, Mother Caramel, she was doing it indiscreet, whereas Kaido, they were just like, nah bro, just go, like you're done. But but it is funny how they both come to different conclusions too on the take of freedom as well, where Big Mom, she wants everyone to be on the same eye level as her, because that's what Mother Caramel said, everyone see eye to eye. Big Mom took that literally and was like, yeah, so I want to make everyone giant so that they can see eye to eye. and which is a funny surface level interpretation, but you get it. She wants everyone to be equal in the sense of height, and Kaido wants everyone equal in the sense of anarchy, where he feels like the state of freedom is at its best when everyone is when chaos ensues, because if chaos is a form of freedom technically, because if there's no form of governmental enforcing or whatever, then everyone can just literally do what they want. And for Kaido, that's probably like the state of battle, because if anarchy arises, everyone will be fighting. And like he said, battle is where you determine your self-worth. So that's pretty interesting. That I did not know.
It's like an interesting like version of Luffy's. I guess that's what I hear about the Yonkos, right? They're like all in versions of Luffy's own dreams, right? Equality and like you said, freedom for Kaido and
Anarchy.
The idea of being hungry. Yeah, exactly, right. So a lot of interesting stuff we learned about Kaido, but this could have been a bit more in the flashback.
Yeah, I agree.
There is still some interesting stuff though. Like the woman who gave Orochi his devil fruit, her being in this flashback is so fucking interesting.
That is.
Because
I did not see that coming, because he killed her.
He smoked her, yeah. And honestly, even that line of his back when he was talking to Odin at his execution, and he said, "I had the old hag killed." It honestly that was almost like he's talking to her in a kind of a familiar sense, you know, like it wasn't like that interfere or that like almost like, you know, that old hag, like I kind of knew her or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I don't know if it was last episode or the one before that where I brought up how when she was giving Orochi his fruit, one of the faces she turned into was Golden Lion Shiki, and that was a super like low-key thing Oda did to give us a bit of a hint that she might have had something to do with that Rock's crew. And I mean, here it kind of is like how after they talk about how he leaves Rocks, and now suddenly this is one of the people he's talking to or whatever.
So wait, do you think? Oh wait. So wait, I think I know where you're going with this. Are you saying that not only was she maybe not even necessarily a Rocks crew member, but like a friend of like Kaido who was on the Rocks pilot?
Yeah, but in some capacity she was tight with both Kaido and by extension Rocks because of Shiki, right?
Right.
And so like, because she had his face, that means she had to have touched him and been in contact with him. And she told Orochi, "I was out of the country for a long time and it was a terrible ordeal. I'm not gonna lie, sounds like the Rocks crew had a terrible time after, you know, what happened to them, right?" So I feel like that was now her proposition to Kaido was teaming up with Orochi, ruling over Wano or whatever, right? The weapons factory, all that shit. And how it's out now we know why she had a bridge and that connection. It's very cool to see.
Do you think do you think, because I think there was something else you might have been going with this, so let me ask you this. Do you think that this whole plan of hers that she, you know, that she brought up to Orochi, do you think that this was actually Kaido's plan? Like, think about it like that. Like, she met Kaido first, because Kaido looked more like he does now from 20 years ago than Kaido did when he met up with the old woman in that flashback. Like, he looks different, like way younger than that, even at that point. Even though he had a similar like wear and stuff, his facial structure looks more like now from 20 years ago than when he was young. So I'm thinking maybe the old woman, maybe Kaido had her maybe this is Kaido's big plan. This was all Kaido's doing, where Kaido had the old woman go up to Orochi, tell him about like the Kozuki, not Kozuki, but what was his freaking clan?
Hirozumi.
The Hirozumi clan. Maybe she might not actually be a Hirozumi member. Maybe she could have lied about that, and Kaido told her because he knew somehow about that history, and maybe he was lurking in the dark, kind of like what Doflamingo was to Dressrosa, when he was lurking in the dark and found the opportunity. Maybe that was Kaido, where he can manipulate Orochi into doing what he had to do to Oden's father. But then that begs the question, why couldn't Kaido just simply roam in?
He could have just pulled it in.
So that's why it's like, it's weird. I don't know.
It is an interesting thought. I don't know. It could be, but I just feel like I think this flashback is like one of those ones that I'm glad we got a little bit more on the old lady, because I thought that was super interesting that she had fucking Shiki's face of all people. But yeah, I don't know. I want to ask Callie, we talking about how much Momo was the GOAT, right? And this cloud moment of his, do you think it was like, did that feel like the big moment you were expecting, Callie?
Damn. I feel like I knew it was gonna happen, so it was a little predictable. But I liked it. I feel like maybe it could have been done, but I think you know what I think it was. I think it's because I had my own headcanon about the lanterns coming up and him using the lanterns as the flame clouds, and like that should have been so hard. And then he just made them appear, and I was like, yeah, he did it. Cool. You know what I mean? I think it's just my own headcanon that spoiled it, to be honest. But no, he definitely did have his moment, though. You know what I mean? He definitely deserved it. He was fighting with himself. It was built up really nicely because the past few chapters, we see that internal monologue and him fighting with himself and having flashbacks to with his mom and stuff, and trying to be the person that he wants to live up to be. You know what I mean? And for all that to culminate to this moment is definitely well deserved. So you got to respect it.
Feels huge, right?
Moment ago.
Moment to go, bro. Like the best character in this arc, bro. Like, oh my goodness,
bro. The more I think about it, with Momo and Yamato, I don't think either of them are joining the crew, bro.
You don't think either of them?
Either of them are?
Jeez, we getting Carrot?
Nah, we ain't getting bum ass Carrot. No, that's not happening.
Oh my god, you three, bro.
We're not getting bum ass Carrot.
Stop it, bro. She's not.
Carrot is it, but bro, bro. Chopper could box her up, bro. I'm not.
Bro, what?
Yo, nah.
I don't know. Okay, that's going to be a whole nother discussion. Chopper versus Carrot.
That's the next Twitter poll.
Yeah, that's definitely the next Twitter poll, 100%.
But
I don't know. Like, I know we're supposed to get more crew members at the end of Wano. I don't know. I remember seeing a post about that or something. But I don't expect it to be them two. I really feel like they're just gonna want to why am I so hard struggling? Want to open one of those borders and just like run the country, because Momo's not gonna know how to do it by himself, and obviously Yamato's seen like the awful way Kaido did it just to help him not, do that. But what's it called?
I think that one of the main reasons why a lot of people are speculating that there's gonna be another member added, at least from what I've read, was that
Mister's in general, if you wanna.
Oh, Mister's pulling up. Is he here?
Oh, let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, let's go.
Yo, Mister.
My man.
Go.
Unless.
He said he mentions he wants to make his point before heading in. I don't know. He mentioned something on the chat. Oh, okay.
Oh, he did. Well.
All right.
Mister. If you want to get dragged, just let me know, Mister, and I'll drag you.
Yeah.
What
was he saying, bro?
I was saying one of the reasons that a lot of people speculating there's gonna be another crewmate is before they got to Onigashima, when they took out that base right outside Onigashima, and when the samurai were coming in, they made the toast, or they were about to make the toast to celebrate Jinbei coming in, and then they decided to wait until after the raid was finished. And a lot of people were taking that as they're not swearing in Jinbei because there's going to be another crew member to come in so that they can swear everybody in at the same time at the end.
It's pretty interesting. I've actually never heard that before.
Yeah, I read that somewhere on some forum or something, but I think it's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. Could be.
I can't think of who else would join the crew realistically.
Well, wait. What about this in particular that makes you think that neither Yamato or Momonosuke will join?
I don't see the point of having either of them on the crew realistically. In my opinion, like Momo needs to be there to, keep Wano in check because he wants to be, Shogun like Odin was. Yamato kind of makes sense to join the crew because she's like, she's mad strong, and she could just join the same way Odin did, just kind of be there for the ride. But at the same time, in my opinion, I feel like it would make more sense for her to be there to help guide Momonosuke.
Yeah,
because Momo literally went from 6 or 7 years old to like 27 in the middle of the war because he'd aged himself up, and nigga might be of age to be a shogun now, but he's damn sure not gonna know what to do.
My thing is though, there's like 50 other people that could fill that role. Like, I don't think it has to be Yamato, does it?
I get that. Like, I feel like that's true, but at the same time, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
The reason I think Yamato has to leave is because to her being stuck in Onigashima and Wano represents the lack of freedom. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
for Luffy to free her, it could be her like coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Is it necessarily being stuck in Wano?
It's mostly Onigashima, of course.
Yeah,
It's still
I'm about to say, or is it
But
Onigashima?
she wants to go to sea and sail, right?
I think she just simply want to be free. That's why if Kaido's defeated, whether she leaves Wano or goes with Luffy or by herself or whatever it is, she's free in all three of those situations.
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants for sure. And Kaido and the shackles were literally her actual lack of freedom for sure. But I just remember when she felt like she couldn't go save Ace because she talks about how she wants to go to sea. You know, I feel like I definitely think like. She earned it,
yeah, maybe she can go visit Ace's grave.
Yeah, exactly. I can see her being
that would hurt. That would actually hurt so much.
Yo, especially because the episode.
Yes,
man.
bro.
That
would
hurt.
So
That would definitely bring a tear to someone's
yeah, like
eye.
she's been like a cheerleader for the last like 10, 15 chapters, bro.
Yeah, and like Callie said, there's several people that could fill the role, like Momo's sister.
Kinemon and them, like.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think I was just thinking of it from the perspective of just like she's been the one that's been with Momo through like the raid. So I guess I've kind of like subconsciously established them two together.
The leader,
yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, the leader tends to be strong though. So the thing is, like Momo, I could see Momo staying, but at the same time, like. First of all, we all agree that Zoro is the stronger swordsman than any of the 9 scarabs, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
okay.
Like,
this part. So Momo could learn more swordsmanship from Zoro. He still can't wield Odin's old sword, but learning through Zoro, he probably could. That's probably the reason why he would go, too.
Yeah, that would be fire too. Yeah.
And the reason why I brought that up because I don't think the 9 scarabs could teach him about the sword. That would be real.
That is true.
Like, because we still have that unresolved plot. That what's his face said that you sure you don't want the sword, and he was like, nah, I'm not ready for it. I still need to learn. And he didn't learn, and he still didn't learn it either. While mind you, like he had the 9 scarabs with him. None of them was walked up and be like, oh, I can show you, or none of them did it. So they don't got the capabilities. I feel like. Zoro
I feel like they might. I think the reason being that they didn't want to walk up and show him is because they were still hurt about not being able to protect Odin. Like, because, it was literally his sword. I don't think any of them would want to step up in the same way.
Well, if it's anything like Emma, they couldn't step up either way.
Yeah.
Because Emma was said to... Well, I don't know if they said... If what's-his-face... Kotetsu said that the Emma... blade.
Oh, Mr. said in chat he's in General VC. What's up, Mr.?
Yo, Mister?
Oh.
Not like this.
Part 2?
Not the run back. Alright, if you start talking.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like the sword, the other Odin sword, it might be just as dangerous to wield, because he said that no one had, the only person to wield these 2 blades, or Emma specifically, was Odin, because he was the only one capable. That blade doesn't just choose anyone or whatsoever. So if that other blade is similar in any regard, it may not be as dangerous, but none of them are willing to take up that mantle because they couldn't. They didn't have the strength or the power like Odin did.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
yeah, I think a cool thing that D3 mentioned was the fact that Yamato and Momo are cooling together this whole time.
Yeah.
It's cool because how much she wants to be Odin, and she's kind of doing what Odin couldn't do for Momo because he fucking died, right? She's like the person who believes in him and stuff. Obviously, Luffy is like the bigger driver for that, but it's cool to see. There was I think a cool thing that is mentioned in the flashback is when people are reacting to the Rock's crew falling or whatever, and they say, "Are you kidding? With all the monsters on that crew?" And someone says, "I heard a Marine called Garp beat them." And then lastly, someone says, "No way! I bet their infighting did them in. None of them were team players." So we keep hearing about how the people on the Rock's crew were not they were not like the Straw Hats in the sense of like they didn't give a damn about camaraderie or looking out for each other. They were doing their own thing. So people keep feeling like maybe like Whitebeard might have turned sides on the rest of them because they're like being crazy ass niggas. So he's like, I'm not fucking with this. So he switched sides during God Valley, something like that. There's also the idea that people think that the reason Kaido feels like people get betrayed or humans betray people have an idea that rocks might have like betrayed them as well, like it's in terms of like ran away or something like that. So there's even more like kind of talking about that idea that they're fractured as a crew. Like, do you guys think that's any of those are possible?
I could see that. I was seeing the I think it was Arturo that made that post talking about it. And I can see it. I think that would make a lot of sense as to why it fell apart.
Yeah, because we just keep hearing about it. I feel like
I don't think they really got defeated out of the terms of them not being powerful enough. Somebody had to turn on somebody. Somebody had to have a change of heart or something. Like, just the way I think about it, it's like there's no realistic way. Like, if they lost in an actual fight, if all of the Rock Pirates lost to just Sengoku and Garp, then Garp and Sengoku had to be like OD strong, like stronger than we would have even thought about.
Well, it wasn't Sengoku, it was Garp and Gold Roger.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I can see it.
And to think about it like this, like I think that's possible, just for the simple fact that like Garp and Gold. I don't know if this was Gold Roger's peak in power, because I would gear towards saying that the Odin flashback was like the peak of Gold Roger's power, but then again, he was also sick. I mean, they didn't play it up like that was like hindering him necessarily, so I don't know. I mean, he was matching Whitebeard, and I know that was like the apex of Whitebeard's power. Mm-hmm. So maybe they were all weaker back then, but if Garp was shown on the same level as Gold Roger, so that's essentially two Gold Rogers fighting the entirety of the Rocks Pirates. I don't think that they got like they went out of that unscathed. I don't think they like washed any one side washed the other. I think it was a close battle. So that's probably the reason like why I think it's kind of believable that Gold Roger and Garp, and especially since we look at their power right now and we think that that's the kind of power they were wielding back then. Well, we got to remember, I don't think that they were Yonko tier back then, because we hear that the Rocks Pirates, like, they had Whitebeard, they had Big Mom, they had Kaido, and we were like, oh shit. But the reason why you're like that is because three out of 4 of them are Yonko, and Yonko is like crazy right now. But back then, I don't think they were as strong. If I had to place like any like power tier or anything like that, they may have been 1, maybe even potentially 2 tiers below, but they were still considered monsters. Like, that's like the worst generation equivalent. Like, worst generation members are like monsters, but they're not Yonko, right? So I think it's like that. Maybe they were stronger. Maybe they were stronger than this generation were back then, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that they were at the peak, the apex of their power.
Yeah, they definitely weren't like the actual legends they are now.
Yeah.
Right. Especially since, if you remember, like when Big Mom was sold off, Mother Caramel said that Big Mom, she had the potential to be a fleet admiral with her level of power. Like her power, she could see her progressing to be a fleet admiral if she was a Marine. I think personally, everyone else they disagree about this. I think a fleet admiral is comparable to a Yonko today. So I don't. I
wouldn't really disagree. I don't.
Okay. I thought you meant to face like. I thought you were gonna face like nah, this dude is crazy.
No, I thought you were gonna say something crazy, and then you just something kind of like, okay, I feel like that's not that bad.
Yeah, I can agree. I could see like somebody like a Kainu boxing that. Like, I could see it going 50-50.
Yeah, like yeah, if he could probably have a good fight against Kaido or Shanks or something like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah,
anyway,
Yeah, so I don't think that's why it's that unbelievable that even if it was Garp and Sengoku, I don't think it's actually I don't know.
Those niggas are like demons. So
yeah. They kind of be on demon time. So I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, like, let's say they fought them, right? I mean, it's Garp and Roger too. So like if it was just like if it's these two niggas, I could see that because like you said, it was Rock's on their level. We can assume that because it's like they said he was Roger's rival or whatever. Then these at the time, like you said, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, they're like supernova at the time, right? They're like their younger generation, but they're still big, of course. So I'm gonna say Garp and Roger are fucking demons. Like it wouldn't be too surprising if they actually get a straight up win. Honestly, like they're demonic. Right. Yeah, I just thought it's cool that they Oda keeps giving us hints about the fact that the infighting is a big thing, and how someone like Whitebeard is on that crew makes no sense to me, right? Like how his values just completely are like unaligned with them killing each other and shit. Isn't that literally the only rule on Whitebeard's ship? You just can't kill someone.
Yeah. Maybe because we all look at Whitebeard as like a very like. I don't want to necessarily say benevolent because some people say that about Whitebeard, but he's a very good. He's a very good pirate, but in his younger days, he was very troubled too. Like on his own island, he was fighting a lot. Now that may have been out of self-defense or defending others or whatever, but he was still troubled. And good people, and this is the way I see it: good people could still do fucked up things. Like I was just telling my wife because we were just watching One Piece that I was showing her the beginning of Roof Piece and stuff, and she was like and I was telling her about Kid and stuff, and I told her that either Shanks or someone from Shanks' crew cut off his arm, and she's like, "What? Ain't Shanks supposed to be a good guy?" I'm like, "He's that good. He's that guy though. Like you just don't fuck like I mean, I don't know what to say. Like
I mean, that's kind of a talk shit get hit situation though. Like if you pull up on Shanks, like you kind of got expect
nigga lucky. Yeah, he's kind of lucky he lived, bro.
He's lucky he lost just his arm, bro.
but I was just saying, like Luffy wouldn't even take your arm if you stepped up to him. Like Shanks, we consider him like a good guy, or debatable because I know some people got the evil Shanks theory and stuff, but like Shanks will take your arm. He's a good guy. He literally got he got smashed he got hit by that bandit and everything. He was fully disrespecting him and stuff. And he just laughed it off like, yeah. But when it comes to his friends, when it comes to you stepping to him, that man's a full-blown demon. Like he will fuck you up. Same thing with Gold Roger. They said the same thing. Gold Roger, they literally said this man is a demon when it comes to his friends. Like morality is very gray, subjective and stuff. So I'll take your arm, I'll take your head, your legs, your life when it comes to my friends and stuff like that, or my own safety, whatever it is. Like, just don't do that to me. Don't step to me and you're good. Like, but so it's Whitebeard. He could be on that same wavelength, and I believe he's on that same wavelength. You don't step with Whitebeard. This is why, like Whitebeard, he was willing to clash with Shanks when they met up and they were just drinking and stuff, and Whitebeard was like, "You too young to be coming at me. I'm Whitebeard." Like,
yeah, he's exactly that nigga. He's definitely like, you don't get that strong and that much power like being a crazy, being a humble, chill nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw your weight around sometimes, and for sure, Whitebeard definitely he's not gonna get punked or anything like that. But definitely like one thing, because it's the biggest. Like to me, when I think of Whitebeard's character, I think of that when he's like when he's just chilling on a ship back in the day. And someone asks us like, "Bro, you never take any treasure. Like what do you want in life?" He's like, "I just want a family, man." That's what I think of when I think of Whitebeard's character. So for him to be on the Rox's crew, it's like interesting that like that happened. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe Rox wasn't all that bad either. I'm sorry, I know I've been talking a lot, but maybe Rox wasn't all that bad to them first. If that's possible, because remember when Big Mom, when she got defeated and we got that slight glimmer of Big Mom in the past, and she was talking to Kaido, and she was like, "Yeah, so you should stick with me." Basically, she was like, "I'll
look out for you."
Yeah, I'll look out for you because like that Rocks guy, I kind of don't trust him like that, but look out, like I got you. And maybe he was presenting a facade about himself. that may be the reason why Whitebeard joined him. Whitebeard was younger. He was more dumber, technically, because more sustainable to lies and stuff like that. So that could be possible. And the way this flashback happened too, when we saw a glimmer of rocks, he was like, "Hey, come here, Blackbeard! Like this is like." He sounded like an enthusiastic kid. Now that could have been enthusiasm to something terrible. That's possible. But he sounded like, reasonable-ish to maybe Blackbeard or whoever else was there at the time. Like, yeah. He's the like, I could see Luffy being that exact same way. Like, hey, Zoro, guys, come here. And it's something cool. Whereas he's like, hey, Blackbeard, Whitebeard, come here. And it's something terrible. Like, but either way, the portrayal of him to them is that of which Luffy would be, or even Gold Roger or whoever else, to their other crew members and stuff. Just depends on what it is that he was doing, because we all assume that he's like Blackbeard 2.0 or 1.0 and Blackbeard is like Zebek 2.0 or whatever, but it could be entirely possible that he was actually like Gold Roger 1.0 or Luffy 1.0 or whatever. It's
very interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see how much of an impact he had on the people who were on his crew, right?
Right.
And how, like, when Kaido, obviously in chapter 1001, when he thinks of like Luffy's potential ceiling, and he thinks of rocks, right? And that's one of the dudes. So clearly, he definitely fucks with him to some degree. And then Whitebeard, he only ever talks bad about his time on the rocks crew.
Right. He's like, man, the fucking rocks pirates, man.
Yeah,
like,
and he tells Odin,
wow.
He tells Odin, it's like, bro, I know what happens when like two niggas that are conquerors like are on the same crew. That shit does not end well, bro. So like,
right.
get off my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like he's like, nah, I don't buy that shit. Nah, I learned my lesson. Too many conquerors. I don't know about you, bro. Like he learned from that. You're right. So that's why it's like Whitebeard, the subject of Whitebeard and like why he would be on the Rocks crew. I think he was just younger at the time, dumber. Probably that was the because what's funny? I was just thinking. Because it didn't click in my head at the time years ago when we got the reveal of rocks and stuff. Maybe Whitebeard, when he was on that ship, that there were two things. He was super young, and maybe this was from early One Piece when he was drawn and stuff like that, but he was that one pirate crew where they were like happy about all this treasure that they got and stuff, and they were looking like, hey, Newgate, like, why aren't you here? He's like, oh, because, whatever, I want a family and stuff. I didn't put two and two together back then, but maybe that was Rock's crew.
Actually, that's pretty interesting. I never thought of
that.
Yeah,
like
that could have been
that could have been Rock's crew. Maybe just only the fact that how he was drawn. Maybe that was separate. But I mean, Oda has him drawn like because he didn't have the beard in that flash. He didn't have the beard in that flashback, but he had the beard in this flashback. So maybe it was different. Maybe it was a different idea how he wanted to draw him from being on Rock's crew back then.
He is a bit older than Kaido and Big Mom too, as well. So the Rocks might not have been his first crew.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, it's just interesting to think about. Like maybe that was Rock's crew. So when Rocks was like crew who loved treasure and all this other stuff. But wait, Rock's crew was said to only have like big time pirates only, right? Or was it like
I don't know.
Most? Okay. So if it did only have big time pirates, then I couldn't see this being the crew. That the Rocks crew.
There are some scrubs on there talking about treasure.
Yeah. But if it wasn't, and that was supposed to be Rock's crew and stuff, then that puts things into perspective. Like maybe he joined it with the intent of family. He didn't realize that's what he fully wanted, maybe. And then later down the line on Rock's crew, he's like, yeah, I just want a family, man. And y'all not it. so he did or whatever, or like someone said, betrayed Rock's crew or something. Like
I think it's like because it's this flashback, like you guys all said, like it's a bit of like it's like pieces and bits, I hope we get more like next chapter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, were there any thoughts you guys had, Cali D3, on the rest of the things you guys wanted to bring up or anything? Because Mr. did have something to say about the cover story, but I want to know if you guys want to talk about any more of the chapters.
Oh, the cover story, yo! There's a theory about the cover story that I gotta.
We gotta talk about it. But yo, Cali, y'all had anything to say about the chapter before we keep on?
don't think so. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think
I think
about.
I think that we ended the chapter discussion like 20 minutes ago. We started talking about
I tried to bring it back with the flashback talk, but yeah, no, it was like I feel like it was because like the flashback itself had a little bit of new information, but like not really.
It wasn't nothing too crazy. It's more so the thing is the discussion has just been the same as it's been the past 3 episodes. Is where is this ending? Is Luke Kaido going to be defeated? What's happening? You know what I mean? And we're getting closer and closer to that actual answers, but we still gotta wait till we get the actual answers. You know?
But yeah, 100%. So for the cover story, this is the continuation of the Germa story or whatever. So I guess this shit's on fire. These guys are free. Mista messaged me again, and he earlier this morning. He's telling me about how he thinks. He said, "I'm starting to believe it's Sabo and Koala there to recruit Germa. It's way too obvious for it to be the other 2 siblings because it would have shown it already. I completely agree with that. And not kept it so secret. And so in chapter like 1046, when we see the shoes of the people coming to Big Mom's Island, it was not the Germa space shoes that we're so used to. You know?
Yeah.
It was someone in high heels and someone in some like loafer type shoes.
Bro, listen. It is not Sabo and Koala. It is not Sabo and Koala. First of all, they are too big to be on.
Yeah, that would be my complaint too. I think they're too big to just have them appear, especially with all the suspense around Sabo's condition right now. Like, them just pop up in the cover story would be a little lackluster. I agree.
Yeah.
Right, but you know what theory makes perfect sense that I saw?
If you say fucking Gin, was that you, bro?
No. I mean, it was no.
God.
It was me, but not Gin. I'm not gonna say
it was me.
It was me. Yeah, because I thought that would be hilarious. By the way, Don Krieg got a cape too, so whatever. But
oh, brother.
No.
Here
Here's an even better one. Crocodile and Mr. One. I saw that and I was like, yo, that might be it, because they would be the type of characters that would have their own cover story or be a part of a cover story, for 1. 2, one got a cape and Mr. One got a similar pair of shoes and stuff to one of the silhouettes. And then on top of that, like, Crocodile has his own pursuits for the One Piece and stuff. So and if you think about it, the people that were running in the cover story, it has to be someone known. Like, they just stepped foot in there. They didn't attack or nothing, and people were running. They know Crocodile. They know who Crocodile is and stuff. So, bro, I was like, bomb. Like, bro, that has...
They already showed them, and there's a funny picture I drop on Twitter sometimes. It's like, actually, I'm thinking something else. But they already showed Mr. One, and we know they're together. We know that after Marineford they started like they figured like they're doing their own thing or whatever. We saw Crocodile, I think, like react to like a newspaper or something.
Yeah, and the caption said some town in the some town on some island in the New World or something.
Yeah,
like
so we know he's in the New World, right? I actually think that's a pretty good guess, especially because of what you said about the the notoriety. Like, they know who it is, man. I don't think it's Germa, man. I don't think it's Germa.
And one thing that proves that theory a little bit further is I remember seeing an interview that Oda had a while back where he said that he feels like he introduced Crocodile too early. He said that he didn't actually get to show off how strong Crocodile truly was. So this would be a really good way to reintroduce him into the series if they want to actually show his full potential.
Facts, bro.
My only thing is I don't see a motive. Why is he here? Why would he rescue them?
So the motive would come from the fact that, well, we know that Crocodile was a young startup. He was a supernova back in the day. So throughout the history of One Piece, at least in terms of Gold Roger, since I can't say nothing about Pirate Sea before Gold Roger, but if you look at it like this, Rocks was the pinnacle. As like he was like what Whitebeard was at some point. He's the pinnacle, and then Whitebeard, what's her face, Big Mom, Kaido, Gold Roger, they were the upstarts. Rocks lost to Roger and them, and took over the mantle, and Whitebeard got on his level and stuff. And then when he died, the Great Pirate Era start, and then the mantle was given to Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido. And the upstarts back then, because you remember, the upstarts were Gecko Moria, Crocodile, Mihawk. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, right? Like, yeah, and Shanks and stuff. They were the next in line. They were the supernovas. Crocodile tried to take down one of the top dogs, but failed. And he's the example of what happens sometimes when rookies push too hard, when they are when their dreams end. Crocodile's dream ended when he lost to Whitebeard. That's why he stayed on Paradise side of the Grand Line and had that plan to take over Alabasta stuff, because he knew his place.
Mhm.
But that didn't stop him from challenging a Yonko, even when he broke out of Impel Down to get at Whitebeard. Now Whitebeard's dead. One of the obstacles to him achieving the One Piece. His dream is now closer to being reality again, because one of the gatekeepers is not there to stop him anymore. So he can go after Big Mom, and he knows about the poneglyphs and stuff. So he can go after Big Mom's territory. It doesn't matter that it's Big Mom. Because he has. This man stood up to Whitebeard. This man stood up to Akainu. Like, he yelled at Luffy. He said, "Don't let them get to do whatever they want just because of who they are." Like, he does not care about your reputation that much. The only person that had him shook kind of was Whitebeard, and even then he still kind of attacked him. But he had
a death wish for that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like, Whitebeard's gone, so maybe he has motivation again to try to get the One Piece.
Yeah, and Loki, remember that shit we were talking about with the theory episode where he might be like a woman because of that Ivankov shit. It's like we don't know. We have to, there's a bit more that Oda is hinting at us for his background, right? So he might be an important character later on, like T3 said.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can see it. But I definitely think like it being the Blackbeard Pirate, something like for a cover story, like that would be a bit too crazy, I think.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The more I thought about that, yeah, I've kind of felt like
it would definitely be cool. It would be too much. It's the same that I would say about the Sabo thing. So I could definitely see why you would say Crocodile.
If it was like the Blackbeard Pirates of the Revolution.
Oh yeah.
Like for a cover story, oh no, come on, he wouldn't do that. But it is interesting. I think it's definitely not the German siblings. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
really
it's too easy.
Like,
it's too easy.
Yeah. I think Crocodile and Big One. I mean, Mr. One is definitely a top contender. I also saw Capone, Beige Capone, because he has a cape, and maybe his crew coming back, because they clearly know who he is, because he was there. He was like chilling.
That
on
goes back. He's crazy.
But yeah, he's actually crazy.
After that whole ordeal, bro said, "You know what? Like, what would he even go there for? Like,
round two."
because Lola, because this could tie in with the whole Lola thing. Because we remember, wasn't that the last cover story? The Lola Beige Capone, that was the like full-fledged like story.
I don't remember how
in the cover story, because everything after that point, we just got a bunch of like fan art requests and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure the Beige Capone, Lola and his sister stuff was the last like full-fledged cover story. So maybe they're going back to maybe rescue Pudding or something, because Lola and her sister were friends with Pudding and stuff like that. Or
it would make sense, because like Big Mom's not there to protect her right now.
Right. So there could be that. I hear people say it's also Pudding that set, like, she might be helping, but I don't think this is full-fledged her. And so I think it's either Crocodile or Mr. One, Beige and his crew with Lola and sister and stuff, because I think that would be a nice tie-in. And father as well, because I forgot about that. That's crazy that he's still alive, by the way. But yeah, so could be that. Any other good guesses out there?
I got none. Yeah,
my money's on Crocodile.
I have a blank mind. I'm not gonna lie. I am waiting to see who it is. I ain't even gonna cap. I have no guesses, bro.
Yeah, I think a super interesting clue is a thing. My man Mod said earlier about like it's someone known. It's someone that you see and you're like, oh shit, I gotta bounce. So,
yeah, because they ran, and they didn't even attack. or nothing. They just ran. So
Yeah.
it has to be someone known.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh wait, whatever happened to what's his face?
Economics.
Caesar. Whatever happened to him?
Clown.
I forgot. Whatever happened
Caesar's
to that
not
dude?
coming back. Caesar's not going back. That's not Caesar.
I mean, he might not. But
It's not
I
Caesar.
just,
If Caesar were to come back, he wouldn't. He's not man enough to just step on that.
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
mad. Like
yeah.
he was so
Yeah.
scared to even be a distraction.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
That's not him.
But he like kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I really
Like,
don't know what happened to him, honestly.
I don't remember like what happened to him. I just say it like
I think we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
could,
definitely.
please don't tell me this is Pedro though. Please do not tell me this is
Stop.
Pedro.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Oh my goodness.
That shit would be so whack.
You're coping right now. You're coping. You're coping.
No, I'm hoping that I'm not like I'm telling you,
Yeah,
please.
it better not be him.
It better not be him.
That shit would
That's not gonna
definitely
be
be
him
mad
because we have
whack.
more faith in order than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that about does it for the cover story of the chapter.
Yeah.
Gotta cut it off like
Chapter
that.
five.
Gotta leave it at that. Like just
When I said
like,
Pedro, it's over, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
I
Alright.
know. I'm just hoping, man, because he technically had a cape, so I'm
Nah.
like,
All right.
Brother, brother.
I'm sorry. It's just my mind. That's how my mind works. I don't want to think about it, but it's like, oh fuck, like, please.
All right,
I'm
we're gonna pray that that's not the case. That's what we're gonna do.
But we have one more thing, don't we, Kelly?
Wait, what?
We got one more thing, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, fire chapter, 100%. We'll wait to see what happens in the next chapter. We're on break this week, right?
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we'll have something special for the next episode. But before we do head out, we do have to do our giveaway winner. Let me pull this up right here. I have a wheel of names. I have painstakingly put every single @ that replied under the tweet into a wheel. I'm gonna click on this wheel. Yeah, I'm a legend, actually. You're welcome. But I'm gonna click on this wheel. It's gonna spin. It's gonna land on the name, and the winner of this giveaway will receive one Steam copy for One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. We have the Steam copy, the numbers, or whatever, all in the DMs, ready to be sent. All right.
It's me. I won. GG.
Imagine. Fucking imagine. All right, guys. Love to see it. All right, guys. So we're gonna spin this wheel, and the winner will be the winner of our giveaway. I'm just gonna click it. I was gonna do like a drum roll or something, but like,
God.
yeah, I was just clicking. What's our winner? What we got? Our winner is Reckon Sphere. At Reckon Sphere. Congratulations for winning.
Congrats.
Nice.
Yeah, let's
Our
go.
giveaway.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
Well, I'll tweet you out to make sure. I don't know if they're here right now, but I'll tweet them out on Twitter. And then if they reply, send the DM. We'll do it like that. Congratulations. Make sure you guys should make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube and following the Twitter for more giveaways and stuff that we do. We're gonna be trying to do this podcast for a while. We got a lot of stuff lined up, so hope you guys stay tuned in.
For sure. Thanks, Callie, for
yeah.
as usual.
Much love. That about does it for this episode. Catch you guys next week. Till then, you guys take it easy, be safe, be healthy. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all when we see y'all. Take it easy, guys.
Later.
Ew.